So today we're going to be diving into Grok's AI system, basically the Twitter AI system, and we're going to be evaluating whether it is as good as some people say, and if it's just a good platform in general in 2026. So we're just going to go over all the stuff that's available for Grok, I guess in the standard paid version, in terms of, Twitter Premium, I believe it's called, but take note that there is a higher priced version, and we are not working with that one right here. That's called what I believe is Super Grok, which we can see right here. So you'd have to upgrade for that, and it's, I believe, significantly more expensive. So we're going to be going with just the standard version that you get with a Twitter Premium or your standard paid Twitter account version of Grok. So let's take a look. So obviously we have the chat, we have voice mode, we have imagine mode, projects, and history. History is irrelevant here, but we're going to go over each of these and just take a quick look. So in the standard chat mode, we're taking a look here. You have the attach a file, which is typical with anything. What's cool, what I notice here is that you can actually connect your OneDrive, your Google Drive. You can even draw a sketch to give it an idea, and to add text content to it, as well as just standardly upload a file or use recent files that you have. Let's go ahead and try draw a sketch for fun and just see what it would look like. Okay. I don't know what I'm drawing here, but let's just see what happens. Okay, so then basically if you were giving something and you're asking an example and you don't have an image, you can draw what you're trying to describe and it would be able to perceive it for you, which is actually a really cool feature that I haven't seen on any other AI app. So that is very interesting. So as we said, all of these things, and now let's take a look at the modes. We have the auto, which is the most typical one. We have fast, we have expert, and then we have Grok 4.1 thinking, which is thinking fast. Now heavy, which is a team of experts, we don't have access to that, which I believe it requires Super Grok. And then there's custom instructions that you can add here. Let's take a look at the custom instructions. We can do, so this is all tied into our settings. I'm not going to touch much of this, but we can keep it concise, Socratic, where it's respond in a way to help you learn, comprehensive or formal, and you can give custom instructions much like ChatGPT. We'll keep it concise for now since we're just playing around with it to get an idea. And take note that if you're using expert mode or thinking on the higher end ones, you do have a limitation of to how many questions you can ask it per day or per hour. I'm not sure which one, but there is a limitation that you have. I'm pretty sure it's per day. Now, that's not a big deal, but if you are doing a lot of research and a lot of stuff with it, it would be kind of annoying to have to continually have to wait for it, especially when you're on a paid version. But it is fairly cheap in comparison to some other apps, since it's only like $11 a month or something for a paid Twitter account, which comes with the Grok platform. So just to see how it responds with the thinking mode, I'm going to use the prompt that I always do with any AI chatbot that I use, because this at least keeps it as a, basically to not make it a yes man. It's just a prompt that makes it as harsh and truthful with you. That way you get valuable information, consistently, as opposed to it just agreeing with whatever it is that you're doing. So we're going to send this and see how it responds, because now I'm just trying to basically have it create its own persona. So get notified when Grok finishes answering. We don't need this. Nice to have that option though. So advising on strategy, acknowledge rule setup, specific, whatever. And let's take a look here. Okay, so we have it concise and we have it on thinking mode. So take note, like I said, we have a very limited amount of this, and expert mode. So we have to be cautious to not go over the top. So you've issued detailed instructions for a role but provided no actual situation, decision, or assumption. Fair enough. Behavior to evaluate. This is classic setup without substance. It feels, oh my god, so it's actually giving us crap based on what we said in the prompt. So that's interesting. So let me ask it a question. So for fun, I just went with a very, random question. I said, I'm 65 and haven't finished high school and want to become a medical doctor, surgeon. What should I do? So I was hoping it'll actually be harsh like ChatGPT would be in this case, because, that is not a very realistic goal typically. Not to say it can't be done. It's just something that you'd want them to be a lot clearer with. So let's see, become a surgeon at 65, that is not realistic. So that's nice. So it actually does adopt the prompt that we said. Earliest independent practice at age 80 plus, probability, a license, whatever. So you are massively underestimating the timeline, physical toll, and rejection rates. This goal is not aligned with your age or starting point. Stop pursuing. Okay, so this is great. It actually is being harsh with us and giving what I requested it to do in the prompt to be more, realistic and direct with us. So far, Grok is actually pretty good, because sometimes this doesn't work as well as you'd think. This is as harsh as I'd want it, and it actually adopts the persona that we have. So it's also worth noting, let's start a new chat. I see in here that we also have create image, which is interesting. We'll go into that after. Voice call is just voice mode. We're not going to do that because there's no reason to really just talk with Grok. It's the same thing as a chat, but with speaking. That's also over here. Deep search, this is just like a deep search mode if we're asking like similar to ChatGPT, where if you wanted to go into deep research, it's actually great for academics. But out of all platforms regarding deep search, my favorite is by far Google Gemini, simply because it is native to Google, and that's the best places to do research typically. So we saw create image. We can do that in a second. And here we have pick personas. So let's take a look at this. We have legal document reviewer, cover letter writer, writing assistant, fitness advice, personal finance assistant, create project, and view all projects. So this is interesting. So this is almost, it seems very similar to like custom GPTs, but with a persona in hand. So that's interesting. I guess we can go here and just take a look. So projects, my project, shared with me examples. So basically, projects help you set common instructions and attach files for conversation. So this is kind of overlapping the projects mode of ChatGPT with custom GPT. So this is very cool, and I'm pretty sure pretty new. So let's see, examples. So legal document writer, expert analysis, craft, whatever. Okay, so pretty interesting. So for instance, when you click fitness advice, which is one that was created by them, you have you're an expert fitness coach, nutrition guide, and health educator. Your role is to provide clear, actionable, and safe advice to users who want to improve their fitness, whatever. So it's just basically a prompt that they did, and it's a pre-programmed chatbot that can actually save your documents within your specific project. So see this kind of as a combination of custom GPTs with a direct instruction combined with the projects mode of ChatGPT that we cover a lot in our content. So that's great. Now let's take a look at Imagine mode. Let's see what this is about. So this is actually visual imagery, where you can create images and or videos. So let's try a video. We've done images already, but we're going to go back to create our thumbnail after. Let's just give it a test and see how this goes in terms of its creation. So we also have the capability to attach things. We can draw a sketch and connect stuff and also use that for our image generation. But in this, we're going with a simple prompt just to try it out. And I'm saying, please create a hyper-realistic scene of a bunch of dogs running out of the house. Make it an absurd amount of dogs. So that's just for fun to see what we can get with it and to see the overall video quality from from Grok, because in comparison to ChatGPT's Sora 2, we know Sora 2 is fantastic. Let's try to compare it and see what it looks like. I'll probably do a separate video covering this as well, where we look into depth of the video generation with specific prompts in each tool, or at each platform in this case. But as of now, we're going to take a look at this, and then afterwards I'm going to try to create our thumbnail and see how that looks. Honestly, this is actually pretty fantastic. That's a lot better than I expected for something as basic of a prompt as that. So, honestly, this is one of the better video generation tools I've seen in a little while for something as cheap as Grok. So that's great. So we have that. We've gone through the Imagine mode, which essentially I think is just a sharing tool where you can upload your images and upload your AI video generated content just to, I guess, share, similar to Sora, but not as social, it seems. So deep search we covered. Create an image is the last thing I believe we're going to do. We looked at this, which ties to project mode. And finally, I think we've gone through every option here. So the last thing we're going to do is create an image. It brings us back to the Imagine page. We'll click image and we will click, okay, so we'll just create an image. So I just said, please create a perfect YouTube thumbnail for the video titled How Good is Grok AI in 2026 walkthrough, which is exactly what we're doing, and we'll see how good this ends up. So this is what it produced for us. What I do like about Grok is that it gives us quite a few examples. It's not just, confined to one style. We got a bunch of different styles here. My only issue with it is that it is not designed as a thumbnail. It's not in the exact, metrics or size for a thumbnail, and usually ChatGPT would perceive that and create it the perfect size. So that would be my only critique. As far as it goes in terms of the actual, creation of it, it looks pretty decent, but still falls short compared to ChatGPT and some other places, including Gemini. Gemini is actually pretty good at image generation as well. But overall, when taking a look at Grok in 2026, honestly, this is one of the better ones that I've seen. Like, in terms of its overall capabilities and different features, I really enjoy the projects mode. The image generation is, video generation is fantastic. The image generation isn't bad. Voice mode, if you tried it, is also pretty solid. And, Grok in the mobile form also has AI agents that you can talk to that are actual characters or avatars, which is pretty interesting. And, the deep search mode works just as good as ChatGPT in my opinion. Mind you, like I said, I do prefer Gemini. And then the personas, which falls into their projects mode, is very similar to ChatGPT as well, but kind of a nice little, hybrid version. So overall, honestly, you can also do your private chat similar to every other app. But overall, honestly, this is a fantastic AI platform. I highly recommend it, and I'd rate it overall a 9 out of 10. This is probably my second favorite compared to, in terms of overall, it's my second favorite to ChatGPT. Gemini would be third. Gemini is great, but it misses all of these, interesting little features that make it something, more integrated and more original and I guess diverse in what you can do with it. So that's about it. I really enjoy Grok, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and have a nice day.